There's a couple of different ways you can fry food. There's the pan frying, deep frying, and also a quick fry method to seal the meat is called searing. I have, I'm going to use the electric skillet. You can use a skillet on the stove for pan frying also. And you can use something like this, a little electric deep fryer. But I prefer for chicken and larger things. This is okay for maybe 1 or 2 orders of French fries or something like that, or vegetables. But I prefer my larger pan on the stove to do chicken and some of the bigger items. The most common 2 things that I can think of that are deep fried and pan fried are chicken and potatoes. So I wanted to show you the difference, so I'm going to use the same thing. I'm going to use chicken in both the pan frying and the deep frying, and then I will show you the difference in the outcome. So I've got some breaded chicken here, and all of it has been breaded the same way. I dip it in flour, and then I dip it in, an egg mixture first, and then I roll it in a seasoned flour. And so I wanted to do them the same so you could see the difference in them. Now the great thing about pan frying, which I like both of them, especially chicken. I like them pan fried and I also like it deep fried. But the good thing about pan frying, this used to be the most common Sunday dinner when I was a kid, because the drippings from the pan frying, not only is the chicken flavored and it's got such good taste, but afterwards you have a great flavor from the drippings. So we always had a nice gravy made with the drippings, and then we served it with mashed potatoes. That was a common Sunday dinner, and we'd have vegetables with it, and it was very good. So what I've done, I've put it in here, and I'm going to cover it with a lid. Now you can pan fry bacon and eggs, things like that, and you don't need a lid, but because chicken is thicker and I want to make sure it's good and done, I'm going to cover it with the lid, and it will cook it. It will get a little steamed, will build up in there, but it cooks it very nicely with the lid on it. Okay, I'm heating up the oil to deep fry the chicken. A couple things I really want to stress, and that's how dangerous fat and oil can be on the stove or anywhere where you're heating it up. I never fill my pan over like a 1/4 full, or at the most a 1/3, because it will boil over. The other thing is, never let your children mess with the oil on fire, because it can easily catch on fire. You also want to make sure everything that you put in hot oil is dry, because the water in it will make it foam up and cause it to boil over. You just have to use extreme caution. Never try to move the pan with hot oil in it. You've got to be very careful, because I have seen it catch on fire. Now it looks like my oil's hot, so I'm going to put in the chicken, which is just like I breaded for the skillet. And you don't want to crowd it up. That's why I don't like the little fryer, because it needs to have space. You don't want to pile one chicken up against the other. Now I let it cook about 10 minutes on one side, and then I'll turn it over to make sure that it's cooked on the other side. Okay, I think it's about time to turn the chicken over so it gets good and brown on the other side. Now when you cook in a deep fryer, you'll have a basket, so you won't have to turn it over. And I've got a plate here with some paper towels ready to drain the, since it's so much oil, it'll drain the oil off of it. Okay, it looks like the chicken's nice and brown, so I'm going to take it out and place it on the paper towel to drain the fat off of it. And you can see how nice and crispy it is. It makes a nice crust when you deep fry it. Okay, I'm going to remove the lid and just turn the chicken over to the other side, all the pieces, and let it cook on that side then. And we'll let it cook a few minutes, and then I will take it out and show you what it looks like. Okay, here I have the deep fried chicken. I removed the paper towels, and I have it on half of the platter. So I'm going to place the pan fried chicken next to it so you can see how it looks. And as you can see, I hope you can see on the video that it's not near as crispy as the other ones. It doesn't have the crust, but it has a great flavor. And then inside the pan here I have some drippings, which as I said, I can use it for some gravy. Makes a great gravy. As you can see here, I have the crispy deep fried, and then we have the pan fried chicken over here. I'm going to show you how to sear the roast first. What this does, you put it in a hot skillet and you just cook it quickly until it's brown on one side, and then you turn it over and cook it on all sides. And what this does, it seals in all the juices in the roast so it doesn't dry out as you cook it. You want the burner on moderately high to do this. I put just a little bit of fat in it. You can use any kind of fat or oil. See how brown it is there? That seals it in so that the juices don't come out. After I do this, I'll put it in the oven and roast it, and it'll be nice and moist because the juices won't get out of it. I want to get all the different sides brown, so it's all sealed up. Now, it's easier if you don't have a real thick one. You can just mainly do it on the two sides. But since this one is so thick and has several sides, I want to try to seal all the sides. And I try not to put the fork back in after I seal it. See how nice and brown it is on all the sides? And that's what you want to accomplish.